Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. For this week's reading, I am using a classic deck, the Robin Wood Tarot. I haven't used this deck in quite a while, but this was one of the decks that I learned tarot on, so I've had this deck a while. So I'm going to draw 3 cards. My intention with this reading is to get some ideas and insights and inspiration for the week ahead. So each card is going to represent an aspect of the upcoming week. All right. So let's begin with the first card. The first card is going to represent Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. And we have the World, number 21 in the Major Arcana. So this is the last Major Arcana card. So the World is a very exciting card to get, and there's a few things that it could mean. So number 1 is the World can symbolize completion of some sort of project, completion of a particular life task, a goal. It's something exciting though that has kind of an air of celebration with it. But I am getting a strong feeling with this card and the body language of the woman on this card. So she has her arms outstretched and she appears to almost be leaping in kind of like a free sort of dancey way. And to me, when I gaze at this card, the message that I get is I'm going to say to be open to things, but it's not so much that. It's about expanding your horizons and being open to more possibilities and thinking globally, not just locally. I'm trying to think of another way to put that. I think sometimes we get kind of stuck in our heads and we don't really have our eyes wide open to everything that's possible. Sometimes we get sort of stuck in a rut with what we think we're capable of or what we think is possible. And in that way, we kind of limit ourselves and we kind of live within this small world where the boundaries are small. And the World is really encouraging you to expand your boundaries, expand your horizons, and consider that you're much more capable than you realize and that there's more possibilities out there than you realize. Another thing I get with this card, I do get a sense of like celebration here. And I feel like it's reminding you to celebrate something. And of course, it's going to be different for everyone, what we're celebrating. There might be something really specific that you're going to be celebrating, like a birthday or an anniversary, or it may just be celebrating something not as obvious. Maybe just celebrating life in general. Okay, let's have a look at the next card. This is the card for the middle of the week, so kind of like Wednesday, Thursday-ish. Woo! And here we have the Star. Now, what's really interesting here is we have 2 naked ladies. With the World, we have, well, she's not really naked, but she's exposing one boob or half a boob. And the Star is a naked lady. So there's these 2 naked figures, which I think is interesting. And it's also interesting that the World is a planet and the Star, those are 2 sort of celestial bodies. So let's talk about the Star and what she represents. The Star is a card of hope, but more than anything, she's a card of trust and being able to kind of trust in life, trust in the universe, trust in the flow of things. Now, if we look at the Star, she's dumping out 2 bowls of water. And in order to dump out that water, you have to trust that there's more where that came from. And I think that there is this feeling, this vibe of sort of releasing with this card. She's releasing the water back to the source. She's letting go. She's releasing. there is kind of a go with the flow sort of vibe with this card, but oftentimes this card will come up for me when I'm really anxious or I'm really stressed out about something. And I feel like this card is a reminder saying, trust that everything that works out, or that everything that happens and the way that everything unfolds is unfolding in the way that it is meant to be. And don't try to control everything. Don't try to micromanage everything. This is not the same as thinking everything's going to work out in my favor or everything's going to work out exactly as I want it to. It's saying that everything that works out is unfolding in the way that it's meant to. And sometimes the way that something's meant to unfold isn't necessarily the way that we want it to unfold, or is exactly how we envisioned things unfolding. So the star is saying, you know what, just chill out. Be a little more laid back and trust that things will unfold in the way that they are meant to. That you don't have to orchestrate everything on your own. You don't have to make everything fit. You don't have to do everything on your own. That there's also this, there's also sort of the energy of the universe or the flow of life that happens. It's not just you trying to make everything happen. There's this, what's that word? Not orchestra, not symphony. What's that word where everything, it's on the tip of my tongue. Where everything kind of comes together. Hopefully I'll remember it by the end of the reading. But anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to the last card. This is the card for the end of the week. So kind of like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And wow, this is such a different, such a different card from the first two. So the first two cards are happy, they are bright, they are bold. They have a really positive and empowering message. The message of the first two cards is like, you can do it. The world is your oyster. The sky's the limit. You just need to be able to let go and trust. And here we have the Five of Pentacles, which is kind of the opposite of that, which is interesting. The Five of Pentacles is about feeling like life is conspiring against you. It represents feeling some sense of poverty. This could be like financial poverty, physical poverty, or some other kind of poverty, like feeling poor and lacking in some way, whether it's socially, emotionally, physically. There's many different ways that you can feel impoverished, but that's what this card kind of represents, is that feeling. Now, this is not to say that this is what you're going to feel like at the end of the week. What this card symbolizes, and I think why it's here, is that some of these issues around feeling like you don't have enough or feeling like life is conspiring against you and that life is an uphill battle, some of these feelings will get triggered towards the end of the week. And there's two things to remember about this card, is that you're never alone. So these two figures in this card, while they don't appear to be interacting or supporting each other, they're not alone. So you're never alone in whatever struggle you're going through, whether it's something big or small. You're never alone, even when it feels like you are. There's other people that are having a similar experience, even if you're not aware of it. And sometimes just reminding ourselves that can be really, it can feel like a relief sometimes. And I find whenever I'm struggling with something, whether it's like anxiety or depression or any other thing, if I remind myself that I'm not the only one struggling with this, it's like we're all kind of in it together working on these things, I feel a lot more almost supported in some way. It's a lot less lonely. The other thing I want to mention with this card that I think is interesting about the Five of Pentacles is the glowing window in the background. And to me, that represents kind of being on the outside of something, but this idea that there is this inner sanctum, there is this, and in this case, there's a church, and this idea that help is there, and sometimes we don't see it. And coming back to the World card, which was about expanding your horizons, opening your eyes, bringing that message back to the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles is urging you to, you know, if you feel like you're struggling and that you're alone and that life is an uphill battle, consider the possibility that help and support is there for you. You just aren't seeing it yet. You just aren't seeing it for whatever reason. Is there anything else I want to say about this card? It's interesting that it's come kind of at the end of the week. And I find that that's often the case when the week, you know, starts strong and moves through, and, you know, there's all these positive cards. Sometimes all that positivity can, you know, you get to a place where you're feeling really strong and grounded and calm and relaxed and hopeful, and then some little thing gets triggered within you. And what's nice is that you've built up some resilience, some strength here to be able to deal with the Five of Pentacles. One more thing I want to mention, I know I'm kind of rambling here. One more thing I want to mention is the first two cards are major arcana cards. Their message is stronger and more solid than the message of the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles shows minor issues. So whatever issues they represent for you this week, they're going to be fairly minor in nature. And you have the strength of the world and the star to fall back on. Okay, I'm just going to look and see if there's anything else I want to mention. I'm sure there's so much more I could say here, but I'm gonna, nothing's coming to me, so I think I've said everything. So as always, I invite you to have a look at these cards and share in the comment section what you notice and what stands out to you, if there's any messages or ideas that you get from these cards. So once again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about tarot and tarot card reading, you can check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. I'll put the link to my site in the description box below this video. And I hope you have a wonderful week.